Introducing Tech for Techs Plus, the ultimate membership for computer shop owners and IT professionals. If you're looking to save time, boost your marketing, and streamline your business, this is the service for you. For just $29.95 a month or $295 a year, you'll get exclusive access to a treasure trove of digital marketing assets, including stunning posters and poster templates that you can edit yourself, and they're all crafted to captivate your audience. And on top of that, new content is released every month. But that's not all. Tech for Techs Plus also provides informative articles that you can share with your clients through your website, emails, or even printed materials, helping you build trust and loyalty. But on top of that, you also get legal documentation, including customizable contracts and policy templates. You'll have everything you need to protect and grow your business. Do you want to make changes to the posters we provide? No problem. With a Canva subscription, you can edit the designs we provide and tailor them perfectly for your business. You will also be able to take part in exciting upcoming projects like the nationwide Real Tech initiative coming in 2025. So let's accelerate your IT business with Tech for Techs Plus for just $29.95 a month or $295 a year. You'll get the tools you need to grow your business and stay ahead of the competition. Visit tech4techs.co.uk/plus to learn more and join today.
With ISL Online, you can access and control any distant computer or mobile device. Sign up now and start supporting your customers.
You're watching Tech Talk, brought to you by Tech for Techs. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live Mondays at 8 p.m. London time, and we will be streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can listen to our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, TuneIn, Player FM, and others.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Tech for Techs Talk. Did I get that right? Yeah, I think so. It's a new year. Close
welcome
enough.
to Tech for Tech Talk.
Yeah, that's the one. So welcome to Tech for Tech Talk. This is a live show where we try and help your IT business grow. My name's Phil. This is...
And I'm Jenny. I'm the one keeping him in straight here.
Yeah, making sure I don't stutter. There we go. Right. Okay, guys, first of all, if you can let us know if you can hear us and see us. And obviously, as we haven't already said, Happy New Year to everyone, because this is the first show of the year.
Yeah,
I hope
it
you all
is.
had a good Christmas and so forth.
I did. I had a
you?
good Christmas.
Good. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, somebody spent enough on me that made me happy. So
Yeah. There we go. So,
Got a
right,
new
so Dan's saying
computer.
it's loud and clear. So, everyone else who is watching, I can see there's a few of you. So, please let us know if you can also hear and see us. Also, give your company a shout out. So,
Yeah.
if you're watching from ABC Computers, just say, hey, it's Bob from ABC Computers, and we'll give you a shout out.
I see Dan from Target has joined us. Hello, Dan. How are you?
Well, we think it's Dan from Target.
No
There's some guy
doubt
called
you're
Dan.
having a Guinness right now, so drink one for me.
Hey, well, he's taking it light tonight. He's probably usually on like 2 at a time.
Well, if he is, one of those can be for me.
There we go. Right, okay, guys. So let's move on. So we've got Karl on the show. So, Karl, if you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know your company name, what you do, and a little bit about yourself.
Hi there, I'm Karl from Solent Technologies in Gosport, computer shop just off the high street. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, it's pretty straightforward.
works.
So you do mainly new stuff, refurbs.
All of the above, inks, 3D printing.
Okay, so
Yep.
pretty standard computer
All
store then.
around go-to for your computer needs.
There you go. So I'll let you sell it then, John. There we go. Right, okay, before we go on to the main topic, which obviously tonight's show, we're talking about New Year's resolutions, what you're doing to change your business and so forth. What we're going to do is just go through the basic news and stuff like that while we will let everyone tune in because we always get quite a few people who are late comers, shall we say. Right, Jen, so if you want to run us through TechMax then.
Righty. Actually, we have been in meetings with the venue, which is Magna. Most of you know that. And we have been really getting with it, the nitty-gritty on organization for the show. So that was one of the first things of the year that we did. Could you quit scrolling that? You're distracting me.
Oh, okay. I'm getting told off
It's
now.
not time to do that.
Okay. You know it's New Year. I'm getting told off already.
Go back to the top.
There you go.
Anyway, we've had meetings and everything, and we're going to get everything going with them that we need to for you to have a really good time. We've been discussing entertainments, menus, all sorts of things that are going to be taking place throughout the day that we hope y'all will make your day more enjoyable. We've had some more sign-ups since we left for Christmas. We have had, one of them is IAMA, and they are one of our returns. And also we are having, let's see here, I have a list down. Mentor has signed up since then, Mentor Distribution. They came last year as well, if you remember. Let's go and let's start at the top though, and let's have the countdown of who's who at TechMax, please.
Okay.
Right, we have TechPoint Distribution, we have Case King UK and ArrowTool, Thunder X3, In-Game Gear, APNX, Lee, Fantex, Colink, Haven, Nitro Concept, Mozo Racing, Stremplify, Ducky, EADR, that's East Anglian Data Recovery Services, VIP, QNAP, Kingston, Gamers Beat Cancer, Spire Technology, TP Link, Mentor Distribution, and IAMA. And I feel like I'm missing somebody.
We've got the main sponsor, which we're not announcing just yet, but we do have a main sponsor. We're just waiting for some bits and stuff to finalise that off. So that'll be announced within the next few weeks.
Did I mention VIP for some reason?
Yeah, VIP's on there. So, and we've also got probably around another 12 to 15. I haven't got the numbers in front of me of vendors we haven't actually got on the website yet. We're just waiting for finalizations
I've
of
got
those.
one due to pay tomorrow. I was hopeful that they'd pay today so I could announce them tonight, but it'll be
Yeah.
when it
So
happens.
obviously it's early days yet. A lot of distributors do not sign up. Mainly the vendors do not sign up until pretty much the last minute or within the last couple of months. So there's a
They
lot
only
more.
get their budgets, most of them, in Q1, the last part of Q1 to the first part of Q2. And then they have to have a meeting about it. And then they have to go to their director and have a meeting about it. And their director has to have a meeting about it with someone else. And they have to have another meeting about it.
Yeah.
And
It takes them a while. The
they have to
layout.
call me, and then they have to have another
Yeah.
meeting about it.
The event layout's going to be very similar to last year. There's going to be a few bits of changes and so forth, and obviously things will get altered towards closer to the event. But it pretty much gives you the information. If anyone does want to exhibit, there's an exhibit section on the website, so it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Right. Before we go any further, we've also got the basically the Tech for Techs Plus service we offer. If anyone's interested in that, I know a few of you have signed up. We've got some exciting stuff coming next month, which I can't tell you about, but we've had some of our members who have signed up testing it out, ready for its launch next month. And this is sort of a growing thing that we're doing at the moment. Obviously, over the last few years, we've been getting the vendors, the distributors to work together with the techs and so forth, like on these shows, at the events and reviews and so forth. The aim of this year and of the slight end of last year is to be able to get you guys noticed. The Tech for Techs Plus service is one of those things. Obviously, it gives you marketing and so forth. You might have seen the advert pre-show. It gets you posters, which you can edit with a Canva subscription. You've got lots of different things what you can get. You also got documentation, videos, which we just added just last month. And you can sign up. It works out just under 30 quid a month plus VAT, or you can do it yearly. Again, that's totally up to you, but the more services we're adding will be included in that price. So this new feature, what we're adding, is no extra. If you're a Plus member or you join up to be Plus, it will be included. So you're getting it as a bonus, basically. Just to give you a rough idea of some of the things on here. So computer repair service documents. Okay, Christmas one's probably a bit late for that one now, but you can always use it next year. Refurbished computer documents. You've also got Windows 10 end of life you can share with your customers. We've also got other things, again, Christmas stuff there, Christmas wish list. These are posters, what you can use, edit if you wish, using a Canva subscription. And again, you've got ones for Windows 10 coming to its end of life. You've got the nice RIP Windows 10 and gravestones and stuff like that. We've also got policies, documentation, legal documentation. The one what's just been added just a couple of days ago, because we're constantly adding to this. We're adding at least one item a week at the moment. So you've got computer maintenance contracts there. So basically, if you want to sell maintenance contracts to your customers, you've got documentation there, which you can download. You obviously edit it to your needs to fit and so forth. We've also got the videos, so we've got one here for Windows 10 end of life. It's only a short one, but you can use it on your website and so forth. But it's there, so it's stuff you can use on your social media.
It's stuff that you don't have to bother about doing. You just, put it on your site and boom. You don't have to worry about creating these things. Phil's done it for you, or someone has. And what better way to get noticed than have nice videos and things like that? I've gone to people's Facebook pages before, and they never seem to update it. It's always just call Bob at 555-1212. Just very boring. Or, hi, I'm going to be closed today. Things like that. They don't ever seem to put anything eye-catching on there. That's is the word.
Sometimes it's, especially with social media and stuff, you want content rather than sales stuff. You want advice, help, news, and so forth. So it's all there. You've even got provided section. This is artwork provided by Target Components. Other distributors and vendors are also allowed to add stuff to it as well. It just gives you a rough idea.
When we had our store, I used to put the latest scams to be on alert for. Just post a little, I don't mean an essay because people are not going to understand an essay, but you could call it the A to Z's to scam. Be careful who you're accepting blah, blah, blah from, and make sure that that email is legit, that you're getting and wanting money for, blah, blah, blah. People appreciate that kind of content. It's not the in-your-face sales pitch, like Phil said. It's more of a showing that you care side of tech.
Yeah, exactly. We've also done up the main page of the Tech for Tech's website because a lot of people, obviously, there's a lot of services we offer and people are not 100% sure. So we've made it nice and simple. Even information about the Tech Awards. If you haven't already nominated yourself or others, you can do. Just go to the Tech for Tech's website. You can see there.
That's the best picture you could have picked for that.
Yeah, exactly. So there's information about our live shows. Oh, look, there's Will at Consumer Tech. We've got Ben Ashcroft there as well. So as you can see, the front page tells you all about it, even tells you about reviews and promotions and stuff like that. So with all the different things, and there's a lot more what we're going to be adding on there over the next year. So it gives you a rough idea. And if you're not part of the Facebook community, there's also a bit of information about it there as well. So we've got like 1,800 members now, I think it is. So it gives you a rough idea. And growing, exactly. And Tech Awards, just to give you a rough idea, so you've got the information here. Nominations end on the 28th of February. You can nominate whoever you want. You can nominate one person. You can nominate 1 million people. It's really up to you for different categories. But you've got vendor awards, so that's for like your vendors. Let's just say like a Cooler Master, NZXT, Deep Cool, TP Link, and so forth. Be Quiet, different ones like that. Distributors, you can nominate people like Target, VIP, Spire, CI Distribution, Terra, and so forth. And then you've got the Tech Store Awards. So that's yourselves, basically. You can nominate yourselves for an award. Anyone who gets nominated gets through to the next round as long as it is a proper nomination. If it's someone putting something daft in there, it'll get disqualified. And you only need one nomination, so you don't need to go in there and enter yourself 5 times. This isn't the voting stage, it's just the nomination. But as you can see there, if you're a tech store owner, you've got best social media, best online store, best tech website, as well as community expert. There's also a couple more pages where you can upload files as well. It'd be a good idea if I didn't scroll past it, but it's like best shop front, and we've got best repair area and internal display, as well as obviously put your email address in just to verify who you are to make sure we're not getting any scams or whatever. But there we go. So that's available now on the Tech for Tech's website.
We've had some people join us. We've got Will in the house. Hello, Wilmer. How are you? I bet you're nice and cold up there in Scotland.
Yeah, nice and chilly up in Scotland. I don't know. I think I was looking at the news, and it's actually warmer up there than it is down here, I think, if I'm right.
Really?
Am I going crazy?
I'm jelly.
There we go.
Well, she's with us tonight, I see.
Yeah, well, she's
Gadget Joe.
Yeah, well, she's saying evening all, talking to each other, which is good. And obviously you got Wilmore saying hi folks. That's from Consumer Tech. That was the guy who we just saw on the front page of our website on one of the videos. So gives you a rough idea. So
he's a good guy.
Yeah. Again, guys, if you've got any questions or you want to talk about tonight's topic, please do. We're going to go on to tonight's topic. But first of all, before we do that, we have to do one thing when it actually comes on, is mention the show sponsor. This is what makes it possible to us to have shows, is the sponsor, which is ISL Online. So ISL Online do remote support software where you can obviously connect up to your customers' computers without you leaving your house, business, office, whatever it may be. This is just a quick video here just to let you know.
With ISL Online, you can access and control any distant computer or mobile device. Sign up now and start supporting your...
We're also proud to support Gamers Beat Cancer. So if you're able to support, whether it's with components, money, or time, please reach out to Gamers Beat Cancer. They basically help support people who potentially are terminally ill with game consoles, toys, handholds, and stuff like that. So it's a brilliant charity. They take part in the TechMax event as well, which is in June. And here's a little video we did for them a few weeks back. Introducing Gamers Beat Cancer, the UK charity using the power of gaming via the gift of gaming to bring hope and support to cancer fighters everywhere. They provide gaming equipment, build supportive communities, and raise funds for vital cancer charities. Join us in levelling up against cancer. Donate, volunteer, or spread the word today. Visit gamersbeatcancer.co.uk and let's... Right, let's go back to the event again. That's Gamers Beat Cancer. So, right, let's go back to the main chat. So,
and again, that's the official charity for TechMax.
That's it. So, right, okay, let's get on to this. Gadget Joe saying, hope you've all had good New Year's and holidays. We've also got Ken Mosley saying hi all from Canny Clever. I should get that right. I know Canny Clever, that's for sure. Just
hello there
today.
to Mr. Ken, to Prince and Duke at Canny Clever.
Yeah, and Will saying he's hit double digits today, 11 degrees Celsius.
I'm jelly.
I think the max here was 4, I think it was, which is actually compared to the last couple of weeks is actually quite
having
warm.
a heat wave.
But it is supposed to get a little bit warmer tomorrow. I think they said it was going to get 8, 9 or 10 or something like that.
Bond is upset because the snow is melting. He keeps bringing in little chunks going, save it, and putting them on the carpet.
And if you don't know who Bond is, that's our pet dog. So just so you know, we haven't got any strange habits with any kids or anything like that bringing in stuff in the house.
No.
Well, I don't want people to think that I'm mistreating people or anything like that. So, right, okay, let's get on with the show anyway. So New Year's resolution. So, like, basically, what are you doing to make your store business better this year? As we've only got one guest on the show tonight, we've got Karl. We're going to go to him first. But if anyone is interested or actually coming on live with us right now, if you're on the Facebook group, send me a message on Facebook. Okay, that's Phil Griffiths or Philip Griffiths. Send me a message and I'll send you a link and you can join in on the show live. You don't have to stay on for long. You can just have your piece, say Happy New Year if you really want to, and go from there. So just send me a message on Facebook or you can send one to Jenni and we'll get you the link sent over. But before we do that, let's go to Karl. So Karl, tell us about your New Year resolutions. What are you going to be doing in your business this year to make things better?
Okay, well, first of all, decided that I'm going to try and boost the social media presence of the shop because it doesn't exist at the moment. And the other one, which is going to be harder from my point of view, is going to try and stick to the pricing that I quote customers and that, because I've got this habit with doing on-site visits and that, and then finding it such a simple job for me to solve that I then basically tell the customer, oh, don't worry about it, or shunt the price down so low it's not worth me doing the job, basically.
Yeah, I must admit I've done that in the past, to be honest. And what I ended up doing was when I book them in and I say, right, it's going to be 60 quid, 70 quid, whatever it's going to be, or at least, I write that on the calendar so I know exactly how much I've quoted them next to the booking. So that way I don't go around and... Because if they say yeah for 70 quid, then they're happy to pay that 70 quid. And obviously you need to cover your costs as well. Obviously sometimes you do get those ones where you just walk in the door, press the power button or plug a cable in and that's up to you. But people are expecting to pay. So make sure you charge them because they won't do you a favour in most cases, or at all, to be honest with you. Definitely there. What ways are you thinking of upping your social media then, Karl?
Well, probably first of all, probably actually sign up for the Plus package for you guys. And then like I say, just see what I can do with it, because I'm not a social media person from a posting point of view, so.
Yeah, totally agree, and that's why we've done that plus package. To be honest, and this isn't a sales thing either. What we put Carl up to, but it really depends. Some people can do it themselves; they've got plenty of time to do it. And this is the idea of this: is to give you some basic information where you can get a picture, post it on your social media, copy the text, and just put your name in basically, and away you go.
And even if you can do it, do you really want to spend your free time doing it?
Yeah.
Well, considering I've got the artistic skill of a gnat, so
yeah, how much time would you actually spend doing your own marketing compared to how much would you spend obviously on a package like this? You could be going out and earning money, if you know what I mean.
It's like Ken just said, his New Year's resolution is to take more time off, enabled by delegating more.
Ken, I just don't see you doing that. I reckon Ken's going to be taking out more business. He's going to be doing more. I'm pretty sure of it.
He'll have Prince with a sign on his back, "Come to Kenny Clever."
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. But
Kev says, "I'm not doing anything exciting. Maybe get skills parity on Azure with what I have on AWS."
Yeah.
Well,
so yeah, obviously the Amazon skills are always handy and on Azure. Again, it's something I've not really touched, but obviously it's an ideal thing if you can get skills on that, because it lets you host things online and so forth and do all sorts. So yeah, definitely pretty good.
Gadget Joe says, "This year I'm pushing big. It's my 10-year
YouTube.
This year, and new studio, new projects, celebrity collaborations, new site. Decided it's finally time I make something of Gadget Joe once and for all."
So are you just going to talk to yourself then, Gadget Joe, because you are the celebrity of your channel? Yeah, well, okay. Didn't come across that way. But yeah, so I'd be interested to see what you're actually doing there, Gadget Joe. It's difficult to stand out on YouTube, so if you can get some celebrities and stuff like that, be interesting to see how it works for you. So yeah, definitely good.
You know, I'm just going to say this as feedback for Gadget Joe and everything. I enjoyed the background when it looked more rustic, like a rustic type background wall, where it really looked like it should be like it looked more of a man cave kind of feel to it when his channel had that look.
I remember. Yeah, I think didn't you have like a painted logo or something?
Yeah. I really liked that look. It just looked like the total man cave, and I always said to Phil, that's neat. It's not overdone. It's not staged. It just looks like total let's get down to business man cave.
Yeah. So obviously everyone's down to themselves. You ask 100 people, they're all going to give you different advice. But yeah, I can see why you like that, to be honest. And it's always one of those things that you try and stand out from everyone else.
It was kind of like the Top Gear kind of thing. Had that manly, beefy feel with the car seats and all to sit in and everything on the stage. They didn't dress it up. They let just a few props do the talking.
Yeah.
You know, I am all about that. I'm a minimalist.
Okay, yeah, that's it. It's always a difficult thing to make a YouTube channel stand out. So Wilmer's saying, I like to do a few things this year, visit a few folk within TFT group. Ken being one of them at Canny Clever. Yeah, definitely. If you're going to see a store, his is definitely a decent one to go and see. One. So, and you get to meet his dogs as well, which is always a bonus.
They're sweet.
And I'm not talking about his staff either. I'm talking about actual dogs. So he's got his dogs. I'm joking.
That was horrible.
No, his staff are actually pretty good.
They are really nice.
What was the young guy?
Thomas.
Thomas, that was it.
Thomas was over there with Bond, our Labrador, loving up on him and everything, taking care of his every little need, and just They are
Yeah.
just a sweet.
Definitely got some good staff. Well, it looks like exciting times for him with quite a few things he's got going on this year as well. It looks like he's going to be busy. Will also says, I like to push my MSP side of the business. I want to try and get onto the shop more often. I'm not trying to push the plus side of things, but that's our topic this month, is getting basically maintenance contracts, mainly aimed at residential at the moment, because that's what people are struggling. So we're doing content for that at the moment this month, to actually help people. So if you need help with that, you've got the plus side of things, or send me a message and I'll see what I can do for you.
Yeah.
We've got Robert as well saying, evening from Inverness Computer Centre. So hi Robert, hope you're doing fine up there. So
That's somewhere on my to-do list that I want to go, is Inverness.
yeah, we haven't done a Scotland trip yet.
No, we
have
haven't.
We really have to do one. We'll have to try and get one done probably after.
I've got my
Techmax or
tartan
something.
already.
Yeah. You're in the mood for it.
Yeah.
Welsh text saying, well, mine is to make my filming space look better, then get my spare room finally done for a dedicated filming space. I've already outdone my views subs so far this year. Going to
Well, she has been doing it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching his numbers go up, 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 up,
Yeah,
up.
definitely. I've seen a few.
Congratulations on that, by the way, because I know it's not easy.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to get views on YouTube can be difficult, but there we go. It's one of those things, is you'll make a really good video on YouTube and you think millions of people are going to watch it and you get 5. And then you'll do a really crap one and you'll get 1 million.
Like
so-
the one that I did. Phil says, no one's going to watch this. And I said, I'm going to make it anyway. And it was how to change your background in Windows 10, was it?
Yeah.
He says, oh, no one's going to watch that. And it's got more views than his that he's put in all of his blood, sweat, and tears to.
Yeah, some simple things sometimes, but yeah. I think you're getting something like about 2,000 views every single day on that one. So
it's weird. And
yeah,
I don't show my
even
face
now.
or anything. It's just showing you my monitor and what I'm doing.
Just screen capture.
And that's it.
30-second video, and that was it. Yeah. There we go. So Gadget Joe says, and Jenny, you are wearing our tartan colours, the Campbells.
Am I? I thought that this was Clangun, close to it.
Close. Yeah, I'm going to say my clan is Gun, and that's Gun, but to be honest, I don't follow it too much. My brother's more into it than I am, to be honest. I don't have time, to be honest.
But he does look
But
good
there
in
we
a
go.
kilt. He really
Yeah,
does.
probably won once, twice.
Nice
yeah.
legs.
There we go. Anyway, so right, let's get back onto the topic. Let's rather than my legs, let's talk about the topic. So what are we going to be doing in the next year? So obviously, I'll let you start this one off, Jen.
Well, let's see here. Pick a topic, any topic. Expanding revenue streams. That could be going down the route of the Tech for Techs Plus and making it work better for us.
Yeah, well, obviously, what we do through the Plus goes towards the Real Tech campaign, what's going off. But how are you guys who are watching thinking of increasing your revenue this year? Is there any new schemes you're going to try? Is there anything new you're going to try selling in your store or online and so forth? I know Carl's got something new. He was talking about it pre-show. So, Carl, do you want to fill us in what revenue stream you've got coming in at the moment?
Nothing particularly exciting, but bought a key cutting machine.
There we go.
So hoping to undercut Timpson's basically.
Sounds pretty good. It also allows, obviously, I think you said there's only Timpsons in your local area, weren't there? So you've got no competition other than them. So even if people come and get the keys cut in and you only get, what, £5-6 or whatever it is to get your keys cut, obviously you're bringing people into your store who've never been in before, which are obviously then going to potentially buy other things or at least see and share information about your business.
And if they don't buy other things, very seldom do you go and get just one key cut.
Mm-hmm.
You usually get at least 2, if not 3 cut. And when you do get keys for a house, people usually have a front and back door to get cut for.
Get a bunch.
And it's got to be the landlord if you're renting, and then each person that lives there has got to have a key. And so, yeah, that could be a really good moneymaker there.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good idea. To be honest with you, definitely taking advantage of it. It's nothing over the top or really fancy or anything, but it's going to get people in the store.
People need
pretty sure.
keys.
That's it. Have you set up like a dedicated web page on your website to say that you offer these services?
No, not yet. Basically, I only got the machine between Christmas and New Year, so been testing and making sure that I can actually cut the keys reliably before
you start. Yeah. So definitely, and again, this goes for anyone. If you're adding new services, make sure you add a specific website, web page onto your website. What actually tells people about these services, because people will search for key cutting in wherever you are or whatever the service may be, whether it's recording stuff off of old VHS tapes onto CDs, DVDs, if anyone actually wants them, or just media files these days. Or anything like that. Make sure you have dedicated pages, because it's going to help when obviously people do searches for it to pop up.
And what Gadget Joe just said, they're ludicrously expensive. What Karl was telling me that they charge, I just about, oh my God, you could have driven a truck through my mouth when it popped open. I mean, really?
Yeah.
That much for one key? One key?
Well, the thing is, if you've only got one competitor and they're charging a lot, you only need to be a little bit cheaper to be cheaper to the cheapest option. So you don't.
And if
really
you're doing it
prices
good on top of that, well, then you're going to steal the show.
That's it. As long as you're not locking people outside of the houses and they can't get in and stuff like that, Carl, you'll be fine. Not to make him worry or anything there. But,
no, not you, Griffiths.
Here we go. Do you want to read what Ken's just said?
And Ken says, we've been trying new products. RC cars at the minute. We'll update on progress in a month or so.
Oh, remote control cars. Okay. Or as I used to call them when I was a kid, moat controlled cars. Apparently, my mother always likes to tell me. But yeah, so I used to love remote control cars.
Oh, I loved them. I had one. My brother came along 8 years later, and well, that was the death of my remote control car.
Yeah.
So
I think one of my mates was the death of mine. He grabbed hold of the aerial and tried to lift it up and rip the aerial out of it.
The last remote control car that you and I had together, we went to the Ford place and traded in the Mondeo and got the remote control car. Next door neighbors, I think they were the death of that.
Oh, it's when we got the first truck, weren't it? Yeah, when we got our first pickup, yeah.
We're still kids. We love toys.
Yeah, so they gave us a remote control car, and niece and nephew liked playing with it. I think it was Jess who actually liked playing with it more than anyone, if I remember.
I thought Jack played with it.
Oh, next door, yeah. Jess did as well. I remember when she was on that one time when she visited, but with it, she had some fun. But there we go. Right, okay, so
Ken, let me know what kind of remote control cars you have in. I have a nephew that I may have to ship one to. So shoot me an email over and let me know.
Yeah, see if they're any good or not. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Gadget Joe's saying...
And Gadget Joe's saying, in the current economic market, it's important to be diverse in what you sell or offer. If you stay on one lane, you're limiting yourselves. Don't be afraid to expand to other areas. Could pay you off well. And I think Karl's a prime example tonight of that.
Yeah, so. There you go, definitely. So it's one of those things with your business. You've got three ways you can do. You can stay the same. You can either focus on something specific, whether it be gaming stuff or office stuff or stuff for elderly people, or you can expand and add extra services. So there's no right or wrong.
No.
Everyone will say, oh, you need to focus, and some will expand. Well, if you look at places like Tesco and so forth, you can tell they haven't focused on one product. They basically cater for everyone. So it's not always about focusing on a single line of things. It can be actually spreading it out.
I've just had someone that would like to join in, if we can send a link out. Mr. Ken at
Okay,
Clever.
I'll send him a link on from here. So yeah. So if you want to come up with the next topic, then
So,
Jan.
and by the way, if you want to join in with Carl and ourselves and potentially Mr. Ken, shoot me over a Facebook IM or even in chat. Say, I want to join, and we'll get you on here. So, yeah. And hello, Richard Creedy, by the way. You're late, but hey,
Hey, Rich.
I wouldn't have it any other
That's
way.
fine. And Rich, if you want to, it's up
And
to
if
you.
you want to, you can join us. All you've got to do is say, I want to join you. I'll send you over a link, and bang, you're on. It's
That's it.
that simple.
And just like I've
So-
just sent Ken a message, and here he is. Hopefully
There
his
he
microphone
is.
works.
Oh, I think
There
it
it
does.
is.
I think it's here,
Yay!
then.
You had me wondering then if it was. He was a bit quiet for a few seconds. So
I was
welcome
looking at the
to
other
the show.
screen.
So, and we're going to be doing this on future shows as well, where you can jump in halfway through the show if anyone wants to.
Yeah.
Obviously, always make sure your microphone, speakers, and everything else and cameras are working beforehand. But yeah, it's pretty nice to do. Another thing as well, just before we move on regarding future shows, we're going to have a few more vendors, distributor ones, but we're going to have more one-on-one shows. For example,
Yeah.
we'll interview people, like we'll have a show just dedicated talking about Canny Clever, or we'll have one just talking to Carl, or shall we say Will, or Rich
Or we
Creedy.
could even have one talking to the folks at EADR.
Yeah, that's an option. So Blue Bolt, whoever you think of,
Yeah.
is pretty much anyone
Hint,
can come
hint,
on.
Mrs. C, you could have your own show.
There we go. I think we've had them on their own show
Yeah.
before, but yeah, so it'll be more
But
of
you
a
were
Q&A.
asking me beforehand for the next topic.
There we go.
What about streamlining our operations? How that could help out?
Streamlining operations. Have you got any thoughts about that one, Ken? As you
I
just
know
joined?
Ken does.
Yes, I hired an operations director.
Oh right, okay.
That
That's
was my
one way of
answer.
doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I've just employed somebody that I've known for 20 odd years. Leisure industry background, which is the direction we're heading in, as we sort of broaden our base a little. And I trust her. That's a big thing for somebody
That
at
is
that level. I know she's got my best interest at heart, and she's been given free rein, which is quite scary for me. I'm not used to handing over so much control. But her first task is to streamline, because we've got a lot of duplication going on. And more so as we open another branch and another branch after that shortly. It's a case of, we need the same processes in all the same places. We don't want to become a big chain that's faceless or anything. We want to stay independent, but we do need a process to manage all these things. So streamlining, I think, part of the issue we've experienced, and I'm sure everybody here may have had similar, when we're booking in machines, some members of staff get more information than others. Some people describe a problem slightly differently. So when the technician first gets a machine on the bench, you're not entirely sure what on earth you're looking at from the description that they've put on the booking in sheets. So it's just a bit of streamlining on that front. But I think processes are important as well. So we're strengthening that side of things. Yeah. Things will be done in a certain way. So then everything can be replicated by whoever's doing it. But it's a case of we've got a CRM system which we've never really used to its full potential. So now we're really, really digging into that to the point where I've employed a consultant to come and modify it to do what we want it to do. Because anybody who's tried to modify Microsoft Dynamics, good luck.
Sounds fun.
So, but it's the tool that we want because it integrates with everything we plan to use across the whole business. So it makes sense to have everything going into one place. So that's the big streamlining project for this year.
Okay, sounds pretty good.
One of my tips for streamlining is, all right, you can't streamline much more than filling myself, but it wouldn't be just filling myself if we had to have someone working in purchasing, and someone working in accounts payable and stuff like that. We streamline that by hiring an accountant.
Yeah.
We,
Outsourcing.
we outsource all of that, and it is so nice to, when tax time or VAT time rolls around, not to be in tears at 2 a.m. going, I don't know if this is right. Oh my God, I'm going to prison. I mean, you just, instead of worrying about all of that, it is worth every penny you pay an accountant to do your books for you. All you've got to do, if they're like mine, is you don't even have to print out your invoice. Just download your invoices, stick it in a file, and then I upload them to a program called Dex. And my accountant goes through Dex, and he compares it with my bank statement. And if I'm missing something, he says, right, I need this invoice for this transaction. I find it, send it over, boom. He does the rest.
It might sound expensive outsourcing things like accountancy, but sometimes, especially if you're probably in that, let's say, low VAT range, or even just got into the VAT range, it's probably worthwhile doing it, because they're going to save you money and tell you what you can put through for your taxes.
And you'd be amazed what you can put through on your expenditures to lower your VAT. You really would.
Yeah, and I've also heard, I don't know if this is true or not, the chance of getting checked by the tax man is a lot less if you've got an accountant. Because there's less chance you're fiddling the books.
And
so
finally, who really wants to mess with it?
Well, a lot of people do, but
I don't.
When it comes to accounts, that's something that we have decided to outsource. I used to do them myself.
Yeah, we did too.
As a lay person, I mean, I can get so far, and I still do some of the daily stuff. So we'll input invoices and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we recently upgraded to Sage 50 on premise, so it's quite a big system. But given where we're heading, it's appropriate for what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it can drill into more reporting type things, which helps with the streamlining, because then we can tell what products sell, what aren't. We can drill down to the nth degree once it's all set up properly, of course. But the accountant, if you are going to go down the accountancy route, any good accountant will save you at least what his fee is, at the very least. So you're not going to lose any money. My poor accountant, there's 5 of them work in their office. They're all good guys. They're a client of ours. So it works in both directions. I mean, I think my accountant has actually gone grey over the last 3 months with everything we've thrown at him. He's now talking about how he might have to hire somebody else to assist with all the work that we've thrown towards. So I think it might be, my bill might be going up. But that said, I mean, everything that's going on, they've been doing a lot of tax planning advice for.
Our accountants were at TechMax.
Yeah.
I told them, I said, you really need to come and tell these guys to get it done properly and save them time, tears, and effort.
Well, I know one of the things our accountants started talking about, and I mean, it was oblivious to me. And I mean, I've always known if you want to buy an asset, like a building, it should be in a pension fund or something, and then it's tax efficient. But that's as far as I knew. And all of a sudden, there's all this whole other stuff that I know nothing about. But I think the last building that he's put into the pension fund, which is something that we've got planned further down the line, he saved us about £13,500 in tax. Apparently. Wow. And I'm thinking, oh, I might actually get a pay this year. Then I might actually. So it's a case of, but that's money saved. So I mean, he's already made his feedback this year.
Well, accountants are pretty handy as well. I'm going to say, well, we'll move on in a few seconds,
Yeah.
but because they tend to know lots of others, so they tend to know solicitors, they tend to know, obviously, finance companies and different things like that. So if you're after like a lease or finance on something, a loan for whatever
Or
reason,
if you're trying to set up a pension.
yeah, they're usually able to point you in the right direction, and they've probably got some sort of affiliation with someone which will get you generally better rates as well. So
But
yeah,
just before you move on,
Mhm.
with our accountant, we keep him happy, really happy. He gets chocolate biscuits every time I turn up, and I'll make the tea or something. And I mean, that might sound ludicrous, but it keeps them happy. Excuse the barking.
I don't mind. I've got one myself.
Yeah, he's getting agitated, but he'll be all right. But our accountant, if you've become self-employed and you're starting your first business, the first place most people go to register a company is the accountant. So if we're trying to build a business base at the same time, keep the accountant happy because he'll refer people to you, assuming you're always only IT customer, of course. So I mean, we've picked up a fair bit that way.
Yeah,
I'm just going to pull this door shut.
yeah, that's no problem. We'll move on, Ken, while you're doing that. Okay, so
Poor Duke.
Carl, are you thinking about streamlining your business, or have you got any ideas to streamline it or make things easier or anything along that lines?
Not really, because it's me, and me there at the moment. So
Are you overly busy, or could you do with more work?
if you'd asked me that question last week, I'd sort of say, where's all my customers gone? But then basically over the weekend and today and that, it's been a little bit on the busy side.
Yeah, a good sign if you're constantly busy all the time is a good sign that you need to streamline, whether it's either your procedures, as in the way you do things to make things quicker, or if it means outsourcing your work to someone else. So if it's like marketing, obviously we've got our Plus thing, but you can also use things like the like Fiverr and stuff like that. Get someone to do the work for you. Yes, it's going to cost you 5, 10, 20 quid to get something made. But the thing is, if you did it yourself, it'd probably take you 2-3 hours. That's 2-3 hours of lost earning, and on top of that, the person who's doing it is probably going to make it twice as good as what you'd actually do it yourself, because that's what they do.
I would say time management skills. Now, for any of you who think your time management is just great, 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 I challenge you tonight. When you go in the morning, I want you to take out a piece of paper, a pencil, and I want you to write down the time that you sat down at your desk. All right? Not the time the store opened, the time you sat down at your desk. And what did you do immediately? Don't write down, I wrote this on this paper at 9 a.m. Don't do that. I want to know, were you drinking a cup of coffee? I want to know whatever. And throughout the day, when your task changes, you put down 9:05, checked emails. 9:15, got up, went to the bathroom, something like that. And look at what you were doing at the end of the day and see what could have been eliminated or combined into one task.
Yeah, and if
I did that for 1 week at the challenge of John Coulter, who used to be at Target.
Yeah.
And I noticed that when I was checking my emails, I was doing it too many times. I should have gone 5 minutes here in the morning, maybe got one time at noon to the emails after I read them, and maybe once toward time to go home, instead of every 5 minutes going to the emails.
Yeah, because generally, if someone's emailing you, they're not expecting a reply in
No,
5 seconds.
that was the point.
So if someone's emailing you, they understand it's going to be
And
potentially
log
a couple
how
of hours.
long your phone calls
more.
are. If you're spending more than, say, 3 minutes on a phone call and you're not getting any business out of it, you're on the phone too long.
Yeah. Another way of doing that task, what Jen said, is get a piece of paper and write down the time every 15 minutes. So like 9, 9:15, 9:30, 45, and so forth. Set a timer for 15 minutes each time, and write down what you're doing at that time. So at 9 o'clock, you're having a cup of tea, set your timer 15 minutes. At 9:15, you're on Facebook. 9:30, do this again, keep doing it and keep doing it. And if you've got a sheet of paper what says that you're watching YouTube videos all day, then you know you're not working unless your job is actually checking YouTube videos.
And it's all too telling. It's all too easy to do.
It is. So you don't always realize how long you're spending doing these tasks.
No.
And sometimes you just have to have a reminder to say, yeah, you do actually need to get some work done. Sometimes you can't just watch this video. Oh, it's only another 5-minute video and a 10-minute video, or
And I'm
whatever.
guilty as sin as sitting there and watching Linus Tech Tips while I diagnosed a computer.
Why
But
aren't you watching me?
because I know what your content is.
Yeah, true.
But you know, it's very easy to do, have like background something on, but that background gets your attention, and then you're no longer messing with the screwdriver. You've got the screwdriver over here to the side, and it may be a finger puppet to you to twirl in your hands, and you're no longer putting Mrs. Smith's computer back together or whatever. You're over there watching the YouTube video, as Phil said, and you're not getting paid to do that. Somebody is, but it's not you.
That's
One thing I've also done now is I've actually removed all of the chairs out the shop now as well. So all of my benches are at standing height rather than being sat down at.
Yeah, that's good. That's good way actually. You tend to find
Yeah.
that when I've got sit stand desks, and I find you generally do a lot more work when you're actually standing than when you're sitting. You're sort of getting that relaxed mode, and it's like, oh, I'm putting my feet up and so forth. Where you're standing, you feel like you're actually doing something. So yeah, I must agree, that's a good thing.
I think for those who employ staff as well, like ourselves, I found that if there's seats behind the counters, people will sit, they'll get the phone out, and they won't do any work. Which sounds harsh in some respects, but as I've said to them, you know, if you go into a big shop, Primark, or you know, one of the supermarkets or whatever, you won't see the staff sitting on a seat behind the till.
Yeah.
Unless it's somewhere like Tesco or Sainsbury's.
Yeah, well, unless they were scanning checkout or whatever. But I mean, most of the big stores I've ever been in, I don't think the staff sit down. I haven't seen a seat behind the counter, so we've removed ours.
Yeah.
That's because it saved us buying seats for the office because we moved them upstairs.
I think a good way for me, if I had a store or some sort of business where I've got lots of staff, I'd have little lockers or little lock drawers and say basically, right, unless it's break time or for whatever reason there's an emergency, you need your phone on you, whatever, it goes in the drawer. You can check it at your break. It breaks every couple of hours anyway. You get 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes or whatever it is. You can check it then because
You could actually argue that on privacy,
yeah,
that it goes against the Privacy Act to have your phone out.
Yeah.
You know, because
GDPR,
you could argue that. I used to work, I won't say what I did, but it was related to taxes. And we were not allowed to have our phones on the floor where I worked. You had to leave your phone, in your locker. You couldn't even have your purse because you could slip maybe a check or something in your purse. You had to leave purses, wallets, keys. And the reason for keys was the metal came in contact with some sort of machine and made it go bizarre. But anyway, so yeah, you had to leave keys, wallets, purses, things like that. Anything of personal possession had to be left in your locker. And you had a key card that you kept for your locker. And that was also your door key as well. And that way, when you came in through the door, they knew if you were going on too many smoke breaks or what, they could track you with this key card. And they knew also, you know, when you were going to your locker. and they could track you also with cameras and things like that. It was very high security. It had to be because, like I say, it had to do with taxes and stuff. But yeah, I would make my staff leave in a locker.
Yeah, probably. I think it's a good idea, especially if you've got a tech company, because obviously it's easy to connect a phone up or Bluetooth something or whatever with ease. And if you're doing repairs and stuff, it's you just never know.
Yeah.
You just never know. So it might be a good idea. And also leading by example. I've seen a lot of businesses that tell the staff you can't do this, that, and the other, and then the owner's there. Oh, look at this on Facebook or
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. And I agree with Gadget Joe saying he used to manage a phones for use store. The model was to have staff seated, and he basically did the opposite, made them interact and stand. Always got more sales interaction, engagement, and so forth. Sitting looks lazy. Yeah, I agree with that. And also on top of that as well, is if you're sitting down, you sort of relax, and you see a customer coming in, it's like, oh, I've got to get up now. But if you're already standing, you're already ready to go. You just go
You're
straight
at
there.
attention.
You're already at attention. I know some people obviously have health conditions and need to seat or put themselves up or whatever. So there's always
There's exceptions for
exceptions,
everything.
but generally, personally, I'd make them stand and march and
I can't
around.
I can't stand for a very long time. I have
Yeah.
to prop on something. But when I was sitting in the office, I would be paying attention to what was going on around me. Unless, well, I'm doing diagnostics, I can't be very well peering out the door. But it was easy to get my attention. You just walked in and we had a chime that would ring, and I'd be like, oh, right there, and I would come around. We had an area that you came out from, from our work area, had a window. And I would come around instead of making them peer through the window at me. Come around, interact, say hello, how you doing? What can I do for you? Because that's also a chance to make a sale. If you come around on the sales floor and they say, I'm in the market for a laptop, all you've got to do is turn slightly and say, right this way. Whereas if you're behind the counter and you're peering out your window, they say, I think I might be in the market for a laptop. You're more prone to stand there and chat about their needs than the right this way attitude. It's the, do I really want to come around there and sell this to you versus right this way.
Just go into something Gadget Joe says. Again, obviously, he managed the phones for you, as he says. He's saying if someone sat down and you watch them put their phones away or something, you instantly feel like you're a pain or a nuisance to them, standing there as welcoming open. One of the things, and just to go to obviously Gadget Joe being obviously a manager in a chain store, is chain stores are a good thing for you to get, obviously, ideas from. Look at the way they do things. Obviously, yes, there's a difference between a small store and a chain store, but most chain stores started off as a single store, and they got the procedures right, which allowed them to open a second store. Then the same procedures, same rules, everything was done the same, and hence they got bigger and bigger and so forth. But it also shows you, obviously, they know how to do things right because they get consultants in, experts in, tell them, right, this is where you need to place products and so forth. You go in your Tesco's and you'll see all the important information you need to know, and the big sales things are head height, or should I say head height for a normal person, not for me. I see the top shelf. But
you get to see the dirt and grime on the shelves.
I see the dirt and grime on the top shelves. But no, it is head height for a normal person, so you've got to see that view inside. And the reason they put certain aisles and certain things in certain places is so that they stop you in your tracks and you see them. So
those end caps are not there just because it's on sale. They want you to do this and that and the other.
Exactly.
I know when I first opened our first store in Royal Keys, which is a horrible shopping centre in the northeast. It's we were struggling genuinely, and our local business chamber put us in touch with the manager at John Lewis, who are an employee-owned outfit, and it was a case of we were invited to a series of workshops on an evening in a big Newcastle store that had a whole training suite upstairs, which I didn't even know was there. And they showed us how to merchandise. They showed us how to organise a window. They showed us where to position price tickets and all that kind of stuff. They had a formula for everything. And I thought, my God, it was so mercenary. It was unbelievable, but it works. And so they shared that with us. And to this day, we still get ongoing support. Every 6 months, there's a check-in visit. They'll come and see us. And that if you looked at pictures of our first window display in our first store and then looked at what we do now, you'll see this massive change. And if you looked at the timeline, you'll see when we went on that training. But even now, I mean, we'll send them pictures and they'll send comments back, try moving this, try this in that position instead. And some of the feedback's great. And I mean, they've picked up a few things from us by accident, because I don't think we're a natural retailer. We're more technicians than retailers.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that goes for everybody. But that said, every single John Lewis store has a community champion and who works with businesses. You might just have to find them. So, I mean, I think one bit of advice might be to phone your local John Lewis or walk in and just say, is your community champion about? Can I have a conversation? And it might be a case of, you know, when are you running your next set of training courses? All the shops do them. It's free. It doesn't cost. Completely free.
Okay.
Grab it with both hands.
One suggestion I have for anyone with a retail store is make your pricing clear. Phil and I were in a store recently over Christmas, and we pointed out we miss price tags when people would actually use a pricing gun and put a price tag on there instead of you have to look at the shelf and hope someone has not moved the product out of its place. Is it really £1.99 or is it £9.99? Both say semi-skim milk. Both say they're Fred's or Bob's or Jim's semi-skim milk, and you don't know if it's £1.99 or $9.99. They're both the same amount of ounces or liters or whatever God puts you to measure by, and you have to hope and pray for the best. And I miss the price tags. When I went to work, and I know that this was a long time ago, people, we had a pricing gun. And it had the SKU number on it, and below that was the price. And my boss man was adamant that it must go in the uppermost right-hand corner, and it must be straight. And if you messed up, you had to peel the sticker off and put a fresh one on. There was no going over it with the second one. Thank you very much. Yeah. So you got it right, or you stood there and did the peel act, and he didn't want you to peel the paper off the box either. He would know if the slightest bit had been peeled by a fingernail. I mean, but I miss those days of having an actual price sticker.
I know what you mean. Right, guys, I'm just looking at the time. It's nearly 9:10. It's flown by. So
oh, it has, hasn't it?
I'm just going to quickly go around the room. So, Karl, is there anything you would like to add on to this conversation before we call it a night?
Not really. No, it's been quite enjoyable, should we say?
Yeah, that's pretty good then. So, Ken, what about yourself?
I think, as always, I think it'll just be a case of don't be afraid to try something new.
Yeah.
Don't try, you don't know.
Exactly. You don't try. I'd say, especially for people who are using CRM tools or whatever type of tool you're using, is to learn how it works.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff you can do through your CRM and cut down your work by loads, even if it's simple things like getting email addresses and putting them all through the system, and you've got an email system through it. It saves you exporting them or gathering them separately and so forth. there's all sorts of things. These tools are designed to save you time, but the thing is, you've got to learn how they work. So I would suggest you do that if you're using a Repair Shopper, Synchro, or whatever it may be these days, My Gadget Repair and so forth. Learn how they work, because they're not just a sales tool just to print out a receipt or whatever. They've got lots of things built in, and obviously you can add extras into a lot of them as well to give you even more functionality. Right, guys, there's so much more I could say, but there's not enough time, so we're going to have to do it next week. What's next week's show, Jen? Talking about not being prepared.
I have my schedule on the other computer. So
yeah, don't worry about it. So we will have a show next Monday, 8 o'clock, as usual. We'll post about it, coming to it in about 2 weeks' time. We've also got a show with Target Components. So they've got some exciting news they're going to be sharing. So we're going to be seeing them in a couple of weeks' time. So they'll be on the show. So I think we've got a few of the staff from Target who's going to be on the show. So that'll be interesting. Again, everyone, thank you for watching. Thanks for commenting. Sorry if we didn't get time to read your comments. It's gone pretty quick tonight. So thanks, Kev, who just said night all. I'm pretty sure I saw a few people on there which have scrolled past really quickly.
Thank you to Karl for being with us the entire show. Thanks, Mr. Ken, for jumping in, as usual. And you, if you want to jump in when we're having a show, just send us a little message like Mr. Ken did and said, I'll jump in. I'm winging it, but I'll jump in. And there we go.
There you go. So I'm just looking back at some of the we have missed a few messages from Kev. So he's saying internal knowledge base always useful to add, Ken. And we've also got an Andy saying good evening all and so forth. But we'll come back to that another time. But again, thank you everyone for watching. I'm just going to put the QR codes on the screen for anyone who wants to access them. This is the QR code and web address for the Tech for Techs Plus service we offer. Again, you can pause this and take a picture with your phone if you want. You've also got the QR code for comes on the awards, which is there. So it's basically on the Tech for Techs website if you can't find it.
And you only need one nomination to see you through.
That's it. We've also got the Gamers Beat Cancer link there. So if you're able to support them, brilliant company, obviously, who's supporting terminally ill kids and adults as well. So with gaming games or game consoles and stuff like that.
Something
PCs
to take
so
their
forth.
mind off of the things that they're having to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously tonight's sponsor, which is ISL Online. Again, thank you, ISL Online, for supporting us. If you're interested in remote support software, check ISL Online out.
Good folks to work
definitely,
with.
Yeah, definitely good folks. They come and visit us every few months or every 6 months or so, I think it is. But yeah, so there we go. So I'm going to leave you all with that. So thanks again, everyone. Especially thank you to Karl. Thank you to Ken as well for joining halfway through the show. And obviously, thank you to the missus for putting up with me for the last hour. She can
Just the last hour?
Well, you can go and hide in the corner now after the show. So I've got to turn this into a podcast.
I've been putting up with you for, 17 years?
Well, she doesn't know, so that's a good start. Anyway, so, right, guys, I'm going to leave you with this little video. Again, if you can donate and support Gamers Beat Cancer, please do.
Introducing Gamers Beat Cancer, the UK charity using the power of gaming via the gift of gaming to bring hope and support to cancer fighters everywhere. They provide gaming equipment, build supportive communities, and raise funds for vital cancer charities. Join us in levelling up against cancer. Donate, volunteer, or spread the word today. Visit gamersbeatcancer.co.uk and let's help